Welcome to Season 2 of The Aggregate, narrative coatings from around the globe. It's a broadcast that hails a treasured community of designers, architects, artists, and builders from around our world who refuse to ration their plaster passion. Amid a world of static and chaotic emotions, the show honors victories won and lessons learned. It tells the true tales rarely depicted on social media. With a neutral mind, these connective moments provide hiatus from the everyday hustle and bustle and offer a platform to recharge with our attention focused on shared skills and time-honored knowledge, ultimately curating continued creativity in everyday life. So take a second breath as New Age artisans coach the planet and changes the standards of what it means to educate, empower, and create. I'm your host, Jeremy Mistretta, along with my man on the switches, Vincent Ryan, and welcome to our show. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Aggregate Season 2, Episode 22. Thanks for listening in on last week's episode with Connor McGurran of CMG Finishes in London, England. Super cool to chat about his beginnings and hear about his love for his family, his crew, and his craft. Connor and his mentality are infectious. I don't know if you've noticed, there's a lot of greed in the world these days. A lot of opinions out there. Many seem to think that the avarice stems from religion. I'm of the school of thought that the primary origins begin from the root of money. I realize as I sit here talking to you all that I came from a place of privilege. I woke up today, white male, born and raised in the United States. One may argue that it's this privilege that affords me the ability to tout the prophecy of plaster across the world. And if this shall be my fate, I'm thankful and I'll relish. Because it's people like Connor that I'm happy to collaborate with on this lap. Since Connor and I last spoke, we've been traveling and hustling hard. I awoke at 3:30 a.m. on Thursday, April 3rd, to the realization that I was headed to Northern Africa for almost 2 weeks, and that I had an Astrovan for sale with a potentially missing title that thankfully, by the way, I found, and quickly notarized, followed by a delayed, canceled, and rerouted flight. Upon a lengthy adventure across the Atlantic, we landed to the news of missing bags and, unfortunately, confiscated media equipment. Silently crushed, yet outwardly determined, we adjusted with a stop at a camera rental facility in Marrakesh and continued faith in the powers of karma that our missing box of tools would arrive. And with a stroke of luck, they did. Can you guys out there imagine planning a trip to Morocco to restore a mosque with 8 artisans from around the world only to arrive with no tools or documentation? I can. It's not a good feeling. I kept thinking about the village of Eagles that we promised our assistance to, Chloe from the Atlas Cultural Foundation, our project, our worldwide donors. I thought about Pennsylvania's Gabe Franklin, Brazil's Doug Muniz de Vargas, Canada's Joey DiVenosa. I also thought about today's guests, my employee Padraig Gould, my colleague and friend Sam Johnson, our faithful leader on this trip Ismail, India's Manu Narendran, and Tadalak Masters Mustafa and Yessin. How's everybody doing today?
Very well. Good. Doing good. Great. It's good. It's good. Sweet.
Man, for everyone listening, this is the most amount of people that we've ever had on the podcast. And we are huddled up in this little amazing schoolhouse in the office built by the Atlas Cultural Foundation. You may hear a rooster go in the background, which has been awesome. And I don't know why everyone thinks those roosters only go in the morning. That is not true. All day long, those little buggers. You might hear a donkey. You might hear hustling of awesome footsteps. Kind of some hustle and bustle here in this place. I like it. I like it. What's been going on today, Manu? What have you been up to?
I think we started with reworking the mixes, what we had prepared yesterday. And to our surprise, when we reached, the place was pretty cleaned up. So that was quite good. And we could start the second coat of the mud plaster. And I think few of us concentrated on finishing it and bringing to a level, floated it around, and yeah, it was pretty good. And occasionally, like, we were stuck because one part of the mosque, I think there is scaffolding up. The gypsum guys are working, so that we could tackle in the later part of the day.
Scaffolding in quotation marks, also known as timber, held by nails and pieces of plastic tubing.
Yes.
I also should mention you may hear a car go back and forth from time to time. So apologies to Vincent, our editor. Ben, you got your work cut out for you, buddy. Yeah, we're in this awesome schoolhouse. It's really fun. It's kind of located up top a little bit, slightly outside the village. We are engaging in a knowledge exchange. We're pouring our heart and souls into the walls of a mosque from the 1400s. And we are restoring the structure back to its original Cadillac condition. It's a super special project for me. It was only 16 months ago that I spoke with Chloe from Atlas Cultural Foundation about this structure on our podcast in episode 6 of season 1. And with a little bit of love, a lot of determination, and a mentality that differs from much of the world, we're here, turning dreams into a reality. And I am but a guest on this ride. Thankfully, we have Ismail, who is the captain. Who's the captain now, bud? How did the ride start? Tell us a little bit.
First, hello Jeremy and friends. It's a huge honor for me personally and for the Atlas Cultural Foundation to have you guys with us in Morocco. And you are welcome, New Ages artisans. It's a big honor for us to have you. Looking forward to see the finish of that leg next week, inshallah. The community is very happy to have you here with us, and it's great. We have people from different parts of the world. We have Yessin and we have Mustafa going to be working with us this week and next week. It's a good start.
It's been a really good start. How long have you worked for Atlas Cultural Foundation?
So I joined Atlas Cultural Foundation in 2012 when I finished my university studies. I studied English literatures.
I can tell.
Thank you. And I joined Atlas Cultural Foundation as a language teacher and translator. That's in 2012 until 2018. And I became a project manager. Same year I got my license as a mountain guide. So since 2018 I have been managing projects within cultural preservation, community education and public health, and also working as trip leader for volunteers that have been visiting Atlas Cultural Foundation to work on different community projects, on construction, on agriculture, on environment. So Atlas Cultural Foundation for me now is a big part of my life. The board and the members and other managers, they are my family. And it's amazing to have Atlas Cultural Foundation here working in south of Morocco, because we have started in the mountains, in Central High Atlas Mountains, and now we moved here to south of Morocco. We work in both places, and this is a good start. We started education programs here, and then cultural preservation started a few months ago. So Atlas Cultural Foundation is very happy to have you guys helping the work and helping the local craftsmen. So welcome again.
Yeah, thank you. What is the history of Eagles? How long has this been a town, a village?
So the Oasis village of Eagles, located in southeast of Ouarzazate at 28 kilometers, it was founded 5 centuries ago by a group of nomadic families. These nomadic families, were raising their animals in the mountains, and they decided to settle and found a community. So they built a qasr. We say qasr. Qasr means fortified village. They built it by the water spring here, where the mosque is. And whenever you hear qasr in Morocco, it's a fortified village that has a mosque and like a defensive wall, the houses of the families, and the gates. And also there's a marketplace inside, usually like small shops. So the Eagles at that time was a small village or small community. There were 5 or 4 families. They're called Ait Ali, Ibrahim, Ait Haddou, Ait Said, and another name. So there were 4 families that founded the Qasr of Eagles. And the word Eagles means lion or tiger. So different, depends on what dialect you are speaking. And it means like power. So this village was very powerful, like compared to other villages in the valley. So Eagles at that time, it has 2 gates. One gate to the mountains and one gate to the gardens. So each gate had a guard. So he had to watch who is going in and out. And because also at that time there were no central government, each tribe or each community have their own local authorities like soldiers and leadership. So after that, like 3 centuries ago, the village becoming bigger and bigger. If you see now, you can see difference between the old Qasr and new village up here.
Yeah, we call it Old Town and New Town.
Old Town, New Town. Exactly.
That's right. Yeah. There's certainly a nice line of demarcation where you can clearly tell the development. Yeah. How many times have you been to the village?
Many times. First time I came here was 2017 with Atlas Cultural Foundation Gould, and we did some researches with the locals and Ayub, our in-country manager. And then every year came back 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful. When I didn't want to get too excited about the trip. I didn't really think much about it. We were doing so much back in the States with work and so busy. And, I think these guys were the same. But for me, I try to not attach any emotion to anything I'm doing because I feel like sometimes I'm let down when I get there. So I just said, we'll just see what happens. And we got here, and I couldn't believe how insanely beautiful it was. I couldn't believe how lush the oasis is. There's so much water in there, even during a drought year, too. Drought years. I mean, it's amazing. It's so beautiful, and I hope everyone stays tuned for photos of it. The structure that we're working on. It's a mosque from 1490?
1475.
1475. Yeah. And what is, in your definition, what is the premise of a mosque?
So mosque is a place where Muslims go and pray We do pray 5 times a day, and prayer is one of the Islamic pillars, and all Muslims, they have to do it. So like each community or each small village, they have a mosque, like church in Christian culture, and it's also a place where people every Friday they go and pray with community and listen to the speech by the imam, by the mosque leader. That happens every Friday at midday. And also it's a place where you can learn about the religion, and it's a communal place. And mosques usually are built by the Minister of Islamic Affairs, and they belong to the Minister of Islamic Affairs, and they control them. So they give speeches to the imams, and also they have staff that take good care of the mosques.
Mm-hmm. And how long has that mosque been? I don't want to use the word abandoned, but how long is it? Because there's the old town and then there's the new town. There's the new mosque, which is not far from here. How long has the new mosque been operational?
Mm-hmm. The new mosque started in 2010, but the old mosque was not abandoned. It was used by the locals for different uses, like for events. They used also to teach women alphabetism, and also for their meetings. So used for other different things.
Mm-hmm. When you walk into the mosque, I talk again. Don't want to attach too much emotion to anything, but traveled thousands and thousands of miles, days on end to get here. We walked in. I said, "Okay, here it is," and I was so struck by the beauty and the natural light coming through in the pillars, and it was amazing to me that as I looked around at the group, how everybody else seemed to be just very taken by the beauty of that place. And we're all here for plaster, obviously, to restore this amazing plaster. But it's not so much that, the plaster is the catalyst that brought us all here. But I think more than anything, what really brought us here was to have this kind of camaraderie and this knowledge exchange. It just so happens that plaster is the medium in which we all work in. Padraig, sir, it's the best job you ever got on Craigslist, bud. Yeah. How did you and I meet?
You just had an ad up on Craigslist, and I wrote you an email and got the job a week later.
Yeah.
Started plaster. Never plastered before.
Yeah.
And I've been here for almost 2 years.
Yeah. And what did you like about plaster? What drew you to plaster?
It's with your hands. It's beautiful. I mean, Cadillac and just the tradition, I guess. I like old ways of building, traditional building. So, yeah.
And Sam, I remember meeting you on a really hot day down in Denver, outside Denver, Arvada, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I just happened to be rolling in, buying an Astro van, which was not the Astro van that I just sold, but I remember purchasing it, and I was there, and I thought I'd, hook up with Frank and the Living Craft folks to say hey, and Sam was working there at the time, and who would have thought that you'd now be sitting here?
Here we are.
Here we are. What drew you to plaster?
The first time I ever experienced plaster was when I was an intern at Community Rebuilds in Moab, Utah.
I remember that.
And actually Frank of Living Craft, who I had known years before from Yestermorrow, where we studied together, came and did a Cadillac workshop.
Yep.
And then, so that was my first little experience doing a sample on little tile. I still have that sample. It's one of my best samples I've ever done.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. And yeah, then, as we built 3 straw bale homes. They needed plaster inside and out. And so I got a taste of lime and clay. And basically from the moment I kind of touched a Hawken trowel, I got the bug. Mm-hmm. And then the beauty of it, the physicality, the artistry, it just seemed like a deep, deep well that I could spend some time in.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Celebrity, the first person to ever be the second guest on the aggregate, Mr. Manu Narendran. You may remember him from season 1, episode 14, Adult Scientist. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah. Child Scientist, Adult Engineer. I screwed that up. Okay. One of the happiest people I've ever met in my life. What drew you into the world of plaster?
Oh, that's a long story.
Let's keep it,
cliff try to keep it. I clip it. This was, I think, my first interaction with plasters was when we were working in an earthquake rehabilitation, and we were trying to revive some of the mud plasters. And working with the local artisans, I came across some of the lime plasters, and I just got curious to know more about it. Mm-hmm. And I started doing a lot of tiny samples on these broken bricks from the damaged structures. Yeah. And I was not documenting it much, but when I got back, I started doing the same thing, but documenting it better. And I think, as Sam said, the bug got me. It's just so beautiful working with lime, the way you can work the material. The more you work, the more you burnish, how it keeps shining and becoming this, the process of becoming almost like a mirror. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, drew me in, and I kept repeating that with whatever tools I could get in, and understanding how each tool brings in a different kind of finish, physicality, and sometimes ease. And that's what brought me into the plastering world.
Just having everybody here from all over the world. What's amazing is, the original crew, we just put it out there to 8 people just to say, hey, what do you think about this? And all of the 8 people that I just happened to throw the idea to, that maybe it would work, all 8 people said, not only will it work, I want to go. The big yes that brought us here, as I was saying, was camaraderie, but also all of us we love the world of plaster. We especially love the world of lime plaster. We look into the world and we look at Morocco as this beacon of light, this beacon of creativity, this beacon of inspiration. And we happen to have 2 people that you guys probably don't even know how much people like us look up to you and are inspired by you. We have a translator here.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. How did you 2 get into plaster?
Mustafa, So Mustafa says he started in the world of plaster since 1999 in his village of Askura. And he said he learned from his friend who's a local as well. وأنت السياسي؟
بالنسبة لي أنا مني كنت صغير كنت أخدم بحال هكا هنا وهنا 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 تنخدمو مع صحاب المهنة اللي تدلعيت.
شنو عام؟
من الصغر مني كنت صغير مني كنت في ابتدائي تنخدمو حيت الخدمة بديناها حنا صغار. فهمت كيفاش؟
Yessin says when he was a kid, when he was in a primary school, he used to accompany his family and his friends just to watch and see the way they do Tadlagt and plaster in general. And he said since then he had this love of plaster, and he started in the late of 2017, and they became professional in 2018.
They're quite good. We've only done a few samples so far. We've been doing a lot of prep to get ready to.
هو ملي بقينا تنشوفوها كتنخدمو أول خطوة بدات عندي أنا بدينا تنتعلمو بالعين هي الأولى العين شوية تنخدمو هنا نخدمو هنا هذا الشيء قبل من 2017 ياك في 2017 فاش بدينا الديمارك ديال الخدمة ديالنا.
I understood shwiya.
Yeah.
It's the only word I know in Arabic. Shwiya.
It's a magic word.
Shwiya.
He said like a lot of local craftsmen, they learned how to do plaster and like just by watching other craftsmen, and that's what he did. And it was easy for him to learn that way. And as I said, he became professional craftsman like in 2018.
Yeah, you're quite professional. It's so good. I mean, you walked right in, again, kind of closing your eyes and imagining who's going to show up. What will these guys look like? How will they act? And we all just walked in and everybody just smiled. It was so great.
قال لك قبل ما يتلاقاو بكم كانوا تاهما شويه بحال بغا يقول خايفين لحقاش واخا هما معلمين ديال تادلاكت ولكن عارفين بان المغرب هو البلاد ديال تادلاكت ومعلمين ديال تادلاكت ديال المغابره هما احسن معلمين كاينين في الدنيا وشويه كانوا مترددين شويه ملي شافوك انت ياسين اول مره صافي من وجهك فرحوا وابتسموا.
Yeah, it's been really fun. You too?
Me too. أنا قبل ما نجي فاش تلاقيت مع داك السيد اللي قال أنا شي بلدان كنت قلت أنا راه عندهم شي حاجة إيماجي خيالية فهمت كيف كنت مخدع كيفاش بغيت ندير فهمت كيف
تقول على خاطر التطور اللي كاين ليه هادو راه غادي يكونوا جايبين شي حاجة أكثر من
I don't know what these people are saying, but everyone's smiling.
I'm going to translate for you guys. So, Yessin is seeing, he had the same feeling. He was a little bit worried that he's going to meet some like professional people with machines coming to do like that, like in different way or modern way, while he wanted to do it in traditional way. So he had a worry at the very beginning before he meet you guys because we talked with him and Mustafa before that it's a group coming from different parts of the world and they are foreigners, like especially Yessin worked with foreigners, Mustafa did, and Yessin was a little bit worried, and then he said when he saw us and I talked with him a little bit, he became happy and
everything was cool.
Ready for it.
Yeah. Everything was shwiya.
شوية.
Yeah, way shwiya. We've been, we have the way that we want to do it in the States, and Manu and I have been talking about, ways in which they're doing it in India, and it doesn't seem as if it's so dissimilar from the ways that you guys do it based upon what we saw. But one of the big question marks here was the prep. What's our base coat going to be? And what sort of prep went in before we got here? I mean, I was getting photos from Chloe and awesome videos about the prep work. What did it look like originally? And then what sort of prep work went into it before we got here?
To be honest, like the mosque was in a trail situation, like even before the work started, because the local craftsmen that have been doing construction on some walls and some cleaning, they did some work before we arrived here. Mm-hmm. But before they started work, it was like terrible, like walls like falling, especially after the earthquake as well, and like plaster was all falling apart and like pigeons inside. Mm-hmm. And then like local workers and craftsmen started some work. Then you guys arrived and Yessin and Mustafa arrived as well. So
How was
I see progress now.
How was it? How was the news received from the village that all these foreigners were going to come help on it?
So at the very beginning, it was a challenge, to be honest, because we had to talk with locals. It's a group of foreigners coming to work. And usually, like when they see foreigners, they see them as tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never seen foreigners working. And like people came to me and said, "Are they really working? No, they didn't know how to use tools."
Yeah.
They thought you were just doing some community service program, like students. Or then local craftsmen, gypsy guys saw you guys working well, and they spread news in the village, and people started to come. And you have seen people visiting us, local kids, like elders of the community, and they got very good feedbacks from the community. Are very happy that their history is being renovated, and also it's the culture for them, it's heritage for them, and it's something that we are very proud of at the Atlas Culture Foundation, because that project will give us like a push to other projects in the future.
Yeah, we were talking the other day, Gabe and I. Well, we were talking about before we even left. Him and I were about how this is going to just churn into so much more for us moving forward, and the fact that it's going so well right now, we just can't wait. We can't wait to keep pushing forward to tomorrow and the next day and next week. It seems like all of our lives have kind of prepared us for this kind of moment. Besides Padraig, who got a job on Craigslist and was told due to reasons outside of his control he'd be traveling to Africa. He didn't put up much of a fight. But
He didn't have a choice.
He didn't have a choice. It's strong-armed him. But I noticed he hasn't clocked it on his time card. Manu, how do you think the past few years have prepared you for this experience?
I don't think anything can prepare you for this. I mean, I had expectations. I was trying not to create expectations, like what to expect when I reach there, what to see, like. But I guess nothing can prepare you for what we all saw here. I mean, the journey from Marrakesh to Hills, the landscape changing.
Smells like hair.
Smells like hair.
Just in case, yeah. So everybody can be up to speed. No pun intended. The road, what is that? Tichna?
Zintishka.
Yeah, what Ismail said. That pass.
Road.
We're going up the windy roads. And it is, I've lived in the mountains for 25, 26 years. I know a windy road. I've been on stormy seas all over the world. I have a stomach and a countenance of iron. I can hold it. Everything's cool. And I started to get woozy, and everyone started to get woozy. I started to see all these white faces everywhere, and nobody was saying a thing. Everybody went kind of quiet. Sam behind me was kind of trying to doze off and fight off some jet lag. And it started to hit me hard. Nope, just push through it. Do a little Wim Hof breathing. Just center yourself. It's all going to be cool. And then we went through this village. What village was that we went through? Unila.
That's the Unila Valley, but we went to the Kasbah of Glawi in Talwat.
And
It was
we
right
went
before that, before Malawi.
right before, yep. And we rolled through, and the village was doing some burning something. And it I could see the haze, and the van went through, and all I heard was, smells like burnt hair.
Oh, that's in Temtacht.
That was in Temta.
Yes.
Oh, and I heard that,
Don't say
and
it
the
again.
people that were in front of me obviously smelled it before me. And I just took a deep breath, and I said, just hold your breath and do not breathe in. And the smell of burnt hair entered my soul. And before I knew it, I was smacking Joey as hard as I could, because ironically, he happened to have a motion discomfort bag from the airplane that he used as a bookmarker. And he was sitting right next to me. And I hit him as hard as I could. And he handed it over, and it was full ejectile into that thing. And I felt so good after that came out. Everything was fine after that.
Yeah.
But Gabe said, he said, all I could see was the bag going in and out and just your eyes like dinner plates. So we'll remember that forever.
Yeah.
Smells like hair. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you can train for that all you want, but turns out.
Yeah, I mean, you were also not prepared for it.
I was not prepared. Yeah.
With your iron stomach.
Yeah. What do you think, Padraig, your Craigslist job? How did that prepare you? The past couple of years.
Well, we've traveled before, and I mean, this doesn't compare to anywhere I've been. So it's like Manu said, it's just completely new territory. But I do have experience with Padraig, though it seems quite different from what they're doing here. So we'll see how that stacks up.
Yeah. How about you, Sam?
Well, I guess I'm fortunate in that I live in a place where Adobe is abundant, and in also a way the culture has moved away from Adobe for alternative forms. So the Adobe has kind of, in many places, laid ruin or not been healed as much. And luckily, my little company, with the help of my plaster partner, Angela Francis, we get brought in to heal buildings. Mm-hmm. And so...
You guys are healers.
As Angela says, we're architectural healers, and we midwife walls back to space. These are all her words. She has a lot of poetry about it. But yeah, our little company actually does a lot of this kind of work, and I see a lot of similarities between New Mexico and Morocco. Mm-hmm. And I think we're actually kind of on the globe lined up. And so when I walk through these little towns and these little villages, I see acequias, and that technology is in New Mexico. I see the Adobe, and that's in New Mexico. And so in some ways I kind of feel like home, and working as we do with the mud, and Angela's taught me a lot doing earthen floors and Adobe restoration. This has felt really good to be able to execute that here in Morocco. So yeah. I didn't Google. I had no expectation of what this town was coming in, and it's been beautiful, a good challenge, and awesome to meet all these really talented craftsmen here.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break, and then upon return, we're going to jump back into the site conditions and all of this awesome prep work that we've done, and talk about kind of the early exchanges of some of this knowledge transfer that's going back and forth.
Ah, the secrets of plaster. So many recipes, techniques, and applications, its diverse definitions and coveted concoctions have confused many a modern applicator. And thanks to the possessive powers of the internet, there's even more information that mystifies the waters of comprehension. Enchanted by Google Images, hungry homeowners, architects, applicators, and designers search the tangled web, patching together some sense of structure to create textured walls, polish elements, abstract art, and relief pieces. What if the journey to success wasn't so challenging? What if all the inspiring information was integrated onto one canvas? Your wait is over. We are collecting years of practice, technique, and art into one hub, the Plaster Portal. With our streamlined system and contemporary interface, the portal protects these processes and offers applicators around the planet the opportunity of discovery, directly from the masters who preserve them. And we'd like you to be part of this communal movement. So become a member today. With affordable fee of just $75, you'll become a baseline member, which provides purchasing access to new age artisan plaster blends, as well as hand-picked content full of tips, tricks, and time-saving strategies that you can't get anywhere else. You also acquire access to our Prominent Artist Series courses, celebrating both specialty plaster finishes and industry professionals from around the world who are proud to share their time-tested practices. With the strength of our membership, we can encourage the celebration of these trades, discover new and valuable skills, and conserve the arts. Head to newageartisans.com and click the Plaster Portal link. Sign up is fast and easy. We can't wait to have you as part of our community. Before we get back to the show, here's a guest from Season 1 with a quick hello.
Hey, this is Nicolette from the Mojave Center, and you are listening to The Aggregate.
All right, everybody. We are back here. Eagles. Thanks to Nicolette Wagner from the Mojave Center. I don't know if you guys have checked them out recently, but they are in the midst of a rapid rise in the world of dome building. They are doing some pretty awesome stuff, doing some natural building workshops all over the Southwest. And we had those guys on the show last year, and pretty honored to be over here in Morocco now, talking about Ian and Nicolette. So check them out anytime you get a chance to take one of their workshops in dome building. Solar, you can learn about solar. You can learn about, structure of the domes. You can learn about interior plaster finishes. Give them a follow too. Their Instagram post. Do you know them?
No.
Oh my God! Like, it's just like you got Carl type following. For everyone listening, Carl here is the new Vincent here. So, Vin, I hope he does you proud.
I'll do my best, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Go easy on me.
Yeah. Before the break, we were talking about the circumstances that led us all to this amazing little village in North Africa. And we were talking about the site conditions. And during our set break there, Sam said, I knew we were going Earth. Spoiler alert. Earth and plaster has been the primary substrate for us, and we'll get into a little bit of that in a second. But Mustafa and Yessin, what sort of materials do you guys normally coat your Tadilac on top of?
المواد اللي كنستعملو
المواد بالنسبة للحيط كنديرو الجير ولا تنتي على سبيل الجير بعد ما تنديرو الرحلة ديال الزيرو.
So Mustafa is talking in general about materials they use. So he said for the wall they use a lime, and the Moroccan lime for that like it's already mixed with the dirt, so it's decorated with that like lime. And pigment depends on what color the customer is asking for. And for the floor they do a lime, but sometimes they add marble powder and also pigment, or can be natural color.
Why do they add the marble powder?
So they add marble powder for that to be stronger.
Stronger.
Yeah, stronger.
That's what our blends have: marble sand, and a little bit of calcium carbonate in it, and it is very strong.
فيها جوج نوع، كاين الحرشة كاين الملسة. هذيك الملسة هو هضر عليها بالنسبة لمصطفى. كاين الحرشة اللي تفلطو فيها شي مواد تزاد عليها باش تولي حرشة. تنزيدوها الرملة، نزيدوها التراب، تنزيدوها ديك الصباغ اللي غادي نزيدوها ديك الساعة على حسب الصباغ. وهي بالنسبة للفينيسيون ديالها متبقاش متتكونش ملسة، تكون حرشة.
So Yessin, the other like craftsman said, Mustafa talked about the finished Tadilac. Yessin said there's another Tadilac. It's kind of tough, I guess. Like it's rough Tadilac. And if you want to have rough Tadilac, you have to add sand, dirt,
وشنو خاص ياسين؟ التراب والرملة.
التراب والرملة والجير.
والجير. Dirt, sand, and dirt, sand, and lime, and pigment.
Pigment.
And you don't finish.
كاين غادي ديفيرونس بالنسبة للفينيسيون ديالها. الفينيسيون هذيك تنستعمل ديك الحجرة، الأخرى تنستعمل واحد قطة ديال العود حتى هي صغيور ديال داك الطرف صغير تتسمى لمنية. هي باش نبقاو نحرشو هكا تعطيك ديك الحروشية ديال لمنية.
لمنية حقا بليك ولا كيفاه؟
لا لمنية تتسمى لمنية صغيورة فريدي صغيور تيسميوه لمنية ديال الفينيسيون. بلاستيكا الحجرة فهمت كيفاه؟ هذيك لمنية تتفينا باللمنية، هذيك الحجرة باش نفينيوها الملسة، الأخرى تنفينيوها بهذيك الآلة سميتها لمنية.
So Yessin is seeing the finished Padraig they use stone, but the rough Padraig they don't use stone. They use a piece of wood that like it's called the limnia. They have an example that we show us next days. It's usually like you use your right hand, and it's a small piece that we finish like with it. So it's not very smoothly or finish like the one we are doing now, but it's a different one that has
a rustic look. Yeah.
بالنسبة لهذيك الحرشة تتكون للداخل وبرا. هذيك الحرشة كيديرها للداخل نيت تيديرها حتى برا. هذيك الملسة تتكون حتى هي فوق السطوحة وفوق شي ولا هي غالبا تتكون للداخل.
And the other type he's talking about is some people they have it outside of their houses. Like many people he said they have it inside in the courtyard or in any place you want inside, but many people start to have it outside.
And Ismail, sorry to cut in. Can you also ask them all these finishes, whether it is the smooth Padraig or the rough Padraig, what is the background on which they apply this? Like, is it cement plaster, mud plaster, lime plaster? What kind of background do they use?
بالنسبة للتدليك تتكون على شي حاجة تكون صلبة قاسحة، تكون قاسحة هي ما تتحملش مع الغوص. بالنسبة للغوص وهادشي المصطلح ما تتحملش معاه.
So Yessin is seeing usually they have to like on something hard. Can be dirt and sand, can be cement, can be dirt with other materials like gypsum or no gypsum like lime or and straw. And he says he never like had that like on gypsum. They don't.
Yeah, they don't go. Yeah, pulls the moisture too quickly. Yeah.
Yes.
And I've never had a problem putting it over the top of Padraig over the top of gypsum. However, I have heard other people mention that they've had a rough time because they think it pulls moisture so fast, and then when the moisture goes in, the plaster can potentially delams right off the top. But I've always sufficiently kind of wet the gypsum down, gone over it. It's worked for me, but I understand the premise of saying, don't do it.
I asked him this question yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm not an expert of that like that. I'm trying to learn. So he said it sometimes because of temperatures. In some countries, it's possible to have gypsum under Padraig, but here not really because it's a little bit warm and hot.
Yeah, your house, your rules.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
على حسب.
Yeah. Just one word.
One word.
Yeah. Okay. شوية.
we say على حسب دارك على حسب القانون ديالك على حسب لحقاش قلت لي على حسب البيئة و التمبيراتور ولكن انت لو قال اشرح لي بالعربية قلت لي على حسب one word can explain everything. Like شوية.
Yeah, like شوية. Exactly. Yeah. Martina, if you're listening, bom dia. That means good morning in Portuguese. And Martina and Doug, when we were in Belize, Padraig and Sam were both there. And they would speak in Portuguese sometimes to each other, and that was the only word I understand was good morning. So anytime she says something, bom dia, it's like shwia. Where does the lime come from?
بالنسبة للجير كاين الجير اللي هو عادي يصيب الفرار يصيب الجيل عندنا كاين الفرار عندها قدام ديال الجيل كاين الجيل اللي تيطبخ تيديروا ليه العافيه تيديروا ليه العافيه تيطبخ وكاين هذاك الجيل اللي تيجي بمراكش هو فيه انواع كاين اللي رطب مزيان كاين اللي بحال باش نخدمو هذا باش يخدموها الناس ديال حتى هو.
So here, the line we are using right now at the mosque, we brought it to Marrakesh. But Yessin and Mustafa said it's possible to be it here. Where's that? But it's sometimes different. It's a good quality because it's like not good material or not prepared well in these ovens.
Sure.
So he said like really good ones from Marrakesh, and the are two types. There's like one which is rough and one which is very dry.
Yeah.
And have they ever seen any of these kilns around? Lime where they burn the lime. Have they ever seen?
كاين هذاك اللي قلت لكم انا كاين الفراغ زاد ماشي فرزات هي سكوره واحد ديال سكوره.
Yeah, they're outside of Warzazat farm. Like if you pass Warzazat towards Kura, yeah, there are some.
Do you know about my Moroccan nickname?
No.
Jeremy.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, I was like, all right. I've been called a lot of things. I will take that. It's a good one. I'll take that. Yeah. How about the tools that you guys use? What's your favorite tool?
الأسد يسين حجرة بلاستيك.
So Mustafa Yessin likes the wooden tools first, and stone he made himself. And there's like plastic one that he uses like the puppet fowl.
Yeah. Kind of like I see him using it kind of as a hawk.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Yes, Yessin.
ايش تعجبني في الخدمه ديال الجير كاين الفرطاس ديال العدوان خاصيه فيه ديال هذاك اللي قلت لك خاص فيه ما حد خدام به وتيطلق واحد الريحه فيه غادي زوينه.
Okay, so Yessin said he likes the wooden tools, especially cedar wood.
Cedar.
Yes. And the one he has is actually cedar wood, and he says like it has a good smell.
Yeah. Cedar does smell beautiful, for sure. Yeah, and it's interesting, what we do in the States, and Manu, I'm not sure entirely what you do in India, but, we're using a hawk, which is basically a horizontal surface to hold the plaster on, and then a trowel to apply it. And to see these guys, having the mixing bucket, not mixing all by hand, and then taking the gauging trowel, putting it up with the gauging trowel, slicking with the gauging trowel, using the wood float as somewhat of a hawk as well to kind of raise the grain. We're just going in multiple coats, and then we're floating between coats. To see them today doing 2 coats and then slicking, it's similar yet completely different all at the same time. Seems like the timing is polar opposites. What do you think, Sam?
It's interesting seeing all the different ways to get to kind of a similar result.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's inspiring. I love seeing all the Tattletale we've seen in Morocco. There's almost a casualness about it that I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Because it's in the States, it's more new. We have different expectations. We want things to look a certain way. Here it's so embedded in the culture that it's not on this pedestal. It's more just a beautiful finish that is just kind of custom, and they just do it. So it's really nice seeing these guys do it their way and using totally different tools, getting to a same but in some ways different finish. It's kind of the same and different thing I love about it.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking today, it's like a comma amidst a poetic sentence in the world of craft. It's just like, oh, okay, shwiya, ustalakt, It's just so beautiful. What do you think, Manu, as far as your tools and stuff that you use?
So I do see a lot of similarities in how the artisans in India work. Like I've documented and observed or witnessed a lot of different plasters. And in all of these plaster systems, the artisans would be using a little larger wooden float as almost like a hawk. Take the, like, with a gauging trowel, they will take the mortar onto the float and use it as a hawk while they're applying it. So it was pretty similar, and for me it was like so refreshing to see that two countries that are so apart, artisans who would have never heard about, but the practices are so similar. I sometimes wonder, was it an influence or it just naturally comes to them? So that's a very interesting thing to see, that how similar it is, how they are using the tools.
Patty, if there's anything that you would like to bring home from Morocco, any plaster tools that you've seen so far on your trip?
Well, I like the big wood float. We typically use a narrow float to get our corner styled, but I think their float is much more effective at just getting the surface coarse for the next layer and adding compression. And I like their gauging trowel. It's like it's an everything tool.
Yeah. You gonna take Big Jim's gauging trowel?
Yeah, you might have a word about that.
Yeah, you may. Yeah. He's friends with Lime Brian, so he's probably a nice guy. But you wouldn't want to make him upset. There's a trowel that's kind of been on tour. It was mistakenly left at a workshop in Scotland, and it's a blue trowel. We'll show you guys tomorrow. It was left at a workshop in Scotland, and then by the time the owners of it got back to Ireland, they realized they left it. And then since then, that trowel has been traveled all over Europe and then got sent to Gabriel in Pennsylvania. He used it for a while, took a bunch of photos with it. Then he sent it to me in Montana. I had a close relative of the trowel, Brian, on the podcast, and I pulled the trowel out in the middle of the podcast and showed him. Quickly put it back in the bag. Brought it to Morocco, almost lost said trowel in the luggage that didn't show up, received it back, and then we've been using it here, and who knows what's going to happen to that trowel. So I don't think you can take that one.
No, hopefully, maybe I'll get some stones or
special. For sure. Yeah. I think the trowel is going to India for sure. So sorry, Big Jim. The stones. Everybody wants to know about the stones. It's the number one thing people ask me when they hear about Cadillac. They're like, do you really rub walls with rocks? It's like, well, quite honestly, we're not necessarily, I'm only at this point in time, because we're doing like such massive amounts of Cadillac that we're just, shaping corners, inside corners, outside corners, and not hitting the entire field with a stone. So I don't think technically that it's totally okay for us to call it authentic Moroccan Cadillac. So we don't. We just call it Cadillac. It's kind of paying homage to the culture and to the craft. Where did these guys get those beautiful stones?
بالنسبة للهجرة هي كيف كانت تفينيها كتبقى ما غاديش تبدا ما والو. بالنسبة للمصيبة راه كاين اللي تيشريهم راه كاين اختصاصي في مراكش. اللي كاين صباب ويقطع بلامو ولا يديرو الخام ولا شي حاجة خاصو يمكن صعيب. كنبقى هاد الحاج ديال الزيرو.
So, Mustafa is seeing there is an expert in Marrakesh who does Cadillac stones. And it's because Marrakesh is the first city known of Cadillac, Moroccan Cadillac. So it's easy to get everything that has like things to do with Cadillac in Marrakesh. And they said but like past centuries ago, people didn't have these experts, so they made their own stones, like from the river or from mountains, and used to cut it with different tools that they had at that time, and use like other rocks or sand. Nowadays we have a sandpaper, so that's what he said.
Well, I brought some stones that came from America that I got at just some rock shops and gem galleries that we'll give them a try. See what they think. Inshallah, we'll give it a try. One trowel that I really like to slick with is a Japanese trowel. One of my favorites. And I brought several of them here that showed up in our rescue baggage. It was an awesome moment between Mustafa and I today when he looked at the trowel and he kind of gave me the nod saying, pass me the trowel. Normally when something cool goes down, we're like, Carl, come running, take a photo of this. And it was just Mustafa and I. It seemed as if he liked the trowel. What do you think?
زين البيس نسبيا زين حاجة هي يحسن هذه الأخرى اللي كنستعملها شادة بليد مزيان مستحكم فيها.
He said like it seems very good trowel and he liked it, and he said it's easy to use and also it's easy to control.
It wasn't you silly American bringing Japanese tools.
He said it's better than what he has.
All right. Well, we brought several, and he gets to have one.
He just want to say, give me one.
Yeah.
And you said it.
Yeah. Baited me in. Yeah. Well, we've come bearing gifts. So, you give us the gift of your craft and your knowledge, and we'll happily give you the gift of our presence and our tools. Although I'm not sure our presence is all that much of a gift compared to what yours is.
احنا خصنا نستخدم كيف يديروا هما ياك سمعت غدا ان شاء الله قبل ما نبداو على فين ساعه نديرو غادي يوليو لنا حتى هما ديك كيف يديروا حتى هما تيجيو فينا داكشي باش نستافدو منهم باش يكون واحد شويه ديال التبادل.
So Yessin has a request. He said today they did the Moroccan prototypes of Padraig. So tomorrow you guys will do yours and see how it goes.
Oh, we're gonna have a little showdown.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You ready to go? Yes. I'll see you at high noon.
We've been between them. Referring.
Yeah. Yeah. What the past couple days have been like over the top fun with the banter, and it smells like burning hair, and the trowel is the hawk is the trowel. What are all you guys most excited about moving forward?
I'm most excited to try this kind of new approach to Padraig. I really want to kind of use the tools, use your mixes. You know, this is a 2-coat rather than our 4-coat. Much more stoning and using plastic compared to our metal trowels and Japanese trowels. So I'm really looking forward to the new approach, and I mean, of course, the transformation is going to be like magnificent. So I can't wait till it's done. Seeing the beautiful gypsum with our Padraig pillars, and like it's just going to be such a beautiful space for the community with such a humble exterior. They're going to have a palace that you'd never see coming, and I think that is so cool.
Ever. Yeah, I was not expecting that when I walked in there. Yeah, and also real quick, huge shout out to those gypsum guys. I mean, I've run more gypsum than I would like to advertise, and it is not easy. And these guys are just doing it so I mean, every wall in there is contoured, and it just looks like the building is just growing out of itself with the recoating. It's so beautiful. You'll be proud, Chloe. How about you, Manu? What do you think?
I'm actually excited about a few things. The first is the circular cylindrical columns. We have tried to make it more cylindrical, but I think Sam pointed out the 4 columns which are around or under the skylight, if we could give them a little extra care, extra touch. And I was just thinking probably, the bottom of these 4 columns, maybe we can make it slightly curved and to make it look like as if a terracotta pot is sitting on the floor. And I was thinking of making a plastic, a cutout to probably shape it up and see how it goes. And the other thing is, I've never applied Padraig on a straw clay plaster.
Yeah.
So this would be my first. So these are the 2 things which I'm immediately excited about. And yes, as the week goes by, the space coming together and, us doing probably one last cleanup before they start working on the floor. And
Joey yesterday, anybody request? Joey's like, I'd like to request a broom. Yeah. How about you, Patty Daddy?
Oh, I'm excited to see it come together more. I mean, just watching the gypsum come along. I mean, the whole place just looks. I mean, it looks new, but with the structure that's there, it's built in a way that is just timeless. I mean, all the walls are. There's no straight lines in there, so it's going to be beautiful.
What is the project and the process of all this mean to the village and to Atlas Cultural Foundation?
Jeremy, one day Chloe told me when Atlas Cultural Foundation was founded first time in 2009, the goal is cultural preservation, to preserve local architecture of Zawiya Ahnsar. And since then, we have 6 projects, 6 big granaries. We call them Egerman. These projects, or these Egermans, they were restored. And then the communities requested other projects, which are not in cultural preservation, like about community education, about public health. And we started other projects. And it's wonderful. Now we are continuing on cultural preservation. So we are preserving local architecture of Eagles, and it's a heritage for the community. And also the mosque for us, or for the community, shows the power that Eagles had 500 years ago. And also for Atlas Cultural Foundation, it's to promote appreciation of cultural diversity and contribution to sustainable development, and also preserve traditional and local skills and techniques, and promote use of local materials. And like the way we do such projects is from the locals themselves. So Atlas Cultural Foundation collaborate with locals to promote their lives in their villages. So all projects we have done before, it's from the locals themselves. It's requests from the locals. So I remember the first time we came here, me, Chloe, and Ayub, and we meet locals and we talked to Chloe about that project. That was a dream at that time. Now it's coming true.
Yeah. Well, we can feel it. It's like 100%. The only word that I can come up with, and I don't necessarily use this word very often, I don't use it lightly, is like grounding. I feel very grounded when I'm in there. And it's a wild and crazy world out there outside of this village. I mean, shit's going down in the world now. And here we are here, just like living this life, and all of us just having a great time. I mean, there's countries fighting all over the place, and tariff this and tariff that, and religion this and religion that. And here are all these people from all different parts of the world, all standing, doing something for the better good of humanity, while chaos just ensues around us. What does it mean for you personally?
I'm a mountain guide.
Yeah.
The big part of being a tour guide also, you have to be
good cultural representative or ambassador. And I'm not just a guide. I've been involved in such projects within Atlas Cultural Foundation for years and years. And it's a way I learned about architecture. It's a way I learned about local cultures in different villages. I'm from mountains. I'm here in high Sahara, like working with different people in my community. We speak the same Tamazight dialect. So there's a big mountain between us. And also it means a lot for me to be with you guys and learn from you. And this is a new page for me, learning about Padraig. So Padraig maybe will be my future project.
Yeah. Well, it's wild. The vibe that I've been catching since we've been here is that there seems to be a little bit of a dearth of craftsmen. Well, why do you think that is?
To be honest, because like a lot of families now and communities, they are changing to the modern other plaster, like just gypsum itself or cement plaster, or in some places they don't do any plaster, just like leave it as like stones with pointing, like as we do in my villages, which is like in traditions as well. And but I think I asked this question early. I asked Yessin this question early. It's back, especially in Marrakesh and big cities like where Riyadh and hotels and villas. You start to have Padraig back in their houses, and like it's not like we don't have enough here in this region. It's because they are higher than Marrakesh. They're in Marrakesh and Rabat and big cities. So many people that didn't know how to do that, like immigrated from here to Marrakesh or Casablanca or Rabat, where there are good opportunities for work.
Mm-hmm. Well, it certainly seems like there's lots of folks here on the job site the past few days that seem to be very interested in what we're doing. And once those gypsum guys free up, I think they're going to be quite happy to pick up a gauging trowel. Right, kind of go for it.
You seem to be a lot of words.
لا تلبسين لها مراتش لا فعلا. It's we can also train them to have that for swimming pools nowadays, for some hotels and some luxury camps or yachts, and you see they worked on Padraig for swimming pools.
How many days did that take to do a Padraig swimming pool?
شحال من أيام قلت يا 4 أيام.
كانوا بعض البيسان كل نهار خلاص.
حسب القبول يعني. حسب البيسان. شو اللي كان كبير بزاف. حطوا بينا بدو هذا يمكنش تكون فيه تعاون جماعي. شوكا. إلا ما قد واحد. تيجي معه واحد آخر تيضربوا كامل القبيلة. ما قد جوج 3 ما قد 3 4. المهم ندققوا على هكا.
So this is the way they do Padraig for swimming pool. You have to finish one phase a day. Mm-hmm. So imagine this is room is a swimming pool.
Yep.
You have to finish this phase one day. If it's big, 2 craftsmen, 3 craftsmen, 4 craftsmen, but it should be finished that same day. And so like a swimming pool of 5 phases, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, in my mind, when I think of swimming pool, I think of, walls coming and contouring down. So they're breaking it up inside corner to inside corner, much like we would just do with a wall, which would be the right way to do it.
أنا نقسموا لي مثلا المخلصة مثلا خدموش كل شيء يبقى على هكا نقسموا لي معاه باش نربحوا الوقت ونربحوا التخدمة ديك الساعة تكون فين مزيان مثلا كل واحد مثلا مصطفى تيشد باش يدوز الكوش الأول تيجي المعلم الآخر تيتبعو الكوش الثاني فهمت كيف؟ إلا كان كبير يجي المعلم الثالث يتابع شي فرطس الكاسة الأولى فهمت كيف تنقسموا لك المهام في بحال هنا كاين تدربوا عليه دغيا يسكت.
And some Yessin is and sometimes the Padraig craftsman split tasks or work between them. Someone would do the first code, second one would do the second code, and third or fourth craftsman would do with the finishing.
Mm-hmm. It's a smart way to do it. Keeps everyone honest. Keeps everyone making sure.
It's a collaboration.
Yeah.
Like also you do that for everyone to get some income.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Should do that tomorrow.
واحد النقطة اللي استفدت زعما من النهار الأول فاش كنا خدامين، فاش بدنا الخدمة داكشي تنمشيو على الحاجة تن مثلا نهار الاثنين فاش جيت أنا تنمشيو للحاجة تنمشيو ليها كاملين كلشي بيكتسب. اليوم البارح إلا تنتفرقوا لواحد المهام، مثلا واحد تيخلط واحد هادي واحد هادي، فهمتي كيفاش؟ اليوم بداو المهام واحد الخدمة تكبر المهام تيزيدو.
Instead, we did same first day. We started the work on. We worked all together, helping each other, figuring out how to do it, and we had a plan. And he said, yesterday and today, people like start to split, all doing different things.
Yeah.
بالنسبة للفينيسيون ديال هذيك الحاشا باش نشدو شي حيطة كبيرة ولا شي حاجة تيتبع واحد اللي تيتبع في اليمنية في الفينيسيون، ماشي نتا ماشي أنا ماشي واحد وجه فهمت كيفاش؟ حيت إلا ضرب واحد هكا كل واحد كيفاش الشدة ديالو فهمت كيفاش ديك الحبكة ديالو.
So for the rough Padraig, only one person who does finishing, not two people, because they are different in the hand, they are different in the moves. Should be the same finishing, so it's one person who does it. So even when you look at it, you understand it's from one person.
One person,
same moves.
Got it. We're gonna try that with one person moves, and we're gonna keep the whole team all kind of connected together, and we're not gonna go straying off because eventually we're gonna run out of real estate.
Yeah.
So I look forward to having it all work together, and we can all work together as a team and collaborate. And the prep work is just about done. A day or so of drying, and then I think we're on to finish. So everybody, and we can hear about the showdown. Thanks everybody for being here. Super fun to hang out with all you guys, and I feel like every person here on this trip, Sam and I were talking the other day, it's like I would want to hang out with individually, and I'd be thrilled and honored to hang out with each person individually, but the fact that I get to hang out with all of my favorite people and some of my new favorite people all together at the same time is like spoiled rotten. So thank you. Shwiya.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Next week, we'll be back here again, living the plaster life. Don't forget to listen in as we close the pores on these creamy conversations. We're looking forward to a continued knowledge exchange and the shifting mindset of this artisanal effort. Stay tuned to find out how the fade of our column shape, the true plane of the exterior walls, and how the Tadillac reacts to the suction of our earth and plaster blend. But most importantly, how the group dynamics form a solid bond on not only the wall, but how they strengthen our plaster community. Until next week, cheers!